This podcast is part of the Listen Frederick Podcast Network. To learn more, visit listenfrederick.com.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 65 of Beers in the Lot. As promised, we actually recorded in person, our first time in person while in Johnstown this weekend for the Slapshot Cup Hockey Tournament. As expected, we talked a lot about going to the Pittsburgh Penguins and Philadelphia Flyers game on Thursday night on the way up to Johnstown. There's lots of discussion about the things that happened in Johnstown on Friday night during our two games. And then we learned a very interesting fact. Our very own Aaron is considered one of the top 100 Arkansas-born hockey players in the world. All right, let's listen to those beers crack in Johnstown.
Hi. This is the first time we've ever recorded, all four of us in person.
In the same room.
It is.
A room, nonetheless. Yeah.
It's kind of fitting we're doing it in Johnstown.
That's
Yeah,
right.
welcome to Johnstown.
Welcome to Johnstown. Welcome to the Econo Lodge in downtown
the Napoleon
Johnstown.
Place. Econo Lodge in downtown Johnstown.
The beautiful Econo Lodge.
So what's everybody drinking?
I was about to say we skipped over an important part
Yeah.
of our shtick. What are you drinking today?
The mountains are blue. I'm drinking Coors Light.
There we go.
How about you, Riggs? What do you got?
I have, when in Rome, I have an icy light.
Drinking his iron.
Yeah,
I
drinking my
drank
iron.
a few too many of those in Pittsburgh.
What about Johnny?
Ray and the boys. Icy Light. Come on.
Icy Light's in his blood, though.
10-pound hammers.
Yeah, 10 pound. We need to have a lot of light beer.
Yes.
Canned water, as one of our teammates said.
Some of us went really hard at the Pens Flyers game, and it wasn't because the game went to OT.
No.
My
And
mountains
Aaron?
are blue as well, so I'm with you, Daniel.
Yes,
Coors
sir.
Light it is.
Coors.
No, I got my icy lights in at the Pens game.
Yes, many
Many
mortars.
24 pound or ounces. Yep.
So, Aaron, talk about your Tilly last night.
Hey, I just don't like people getting in my teammate's face. That's all I gotta say.
Who was that teammate?
Well, I don't know. Maybe John has more information on how that started. You know, John?
Yeah, the guy did something with sticks, so I told him to fuck off. And then I was teasing him because he was wearing chinos.
Shortest guy on the ice, loudest mouth on the ice.
Yeah. And then we also have a good buddy of ours. He's what, 6'7"?
Yeah, I think
He's
six. He's huge.
He's not a human. He's something else. But anyway,
Viking, right? I
a
think was the term.
few times last night, I was kind of chirping behind in a funny way.
Looking under his arm.
Yeah, but I'm not scared.
I ain't scared.
No,
Yeah, I ain't scared.
It started off of some John Walker antics and mouth.
Antics.
And then it got finished by a very large Viking member of our team.
Yeah. No, actually, after all that nonsense, it was a pretty good game.
It actually was, yeah. That was the second period. Kind of settled down a little bit after that. After our teammate launched someone into orbit.
Yeah.
We'll see him the next Halley's Comet.
Yeah.
They're on a 90-year orbit now.
After that happened, and actually after you took care of that other guy, Aaron, they were real quiet after that.
They did
all
seem
that
to quiet
happened.
down.
Yeah, calm
Once
down.
they realized that
We weren't going to play.
we weren't backing down, yeah.
I honestly think that's the reason why we didn't win the game, is because their only option to try to win the game was to try to take us off of our game by getting in our faces and trying to slow us down that way. I think that without that, we probably would have had a much better shot at winning that game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Early, yeah. I also think if we got them maybe an hour or two earlier.
Yeah, I mean, starting at 11:10 does not help.
Mentally, I think we kind of mailed it in to some extent.
Yeah.
And then midway through the first, I think a lot of us were like, we can definitely skate with this team.
Yeah.
But
that's neither here nor there.
What about the first game? Anything interesting?
We played in the first game?
I don't remember that game. First game?
No, I think the other team played that game. We were watching.
Aaron did get 3.
Oh, he got an assist, right?
I got an assist.
Yeah,
yes, I did.
That's right.
I got an assist.
For the other team, though, right?
For the other team.
Yeah.
It was the drop pass.
It was a great drop pass.
It was the coolest drop pass I never saw because I was going up the ice.
And
when I got back to the bench, and everyone's like, Aaron just threw a drop pass. I looked at it, I was like, who do you drop that to? Like, I had no clue. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I was going up the ice too. We were all going up the ice.
Well, it wasn't a drop
but
pass.
You guys were ahead
of
me is the problem.
He continued and the puck did not.
You had a wet spot on the ice.
Yeah, in the third. Yeah.
In the
wet spot on the ice.
The only wet spot.
The ice was wet.
Oh man. That's great.
I forgot a key element of the game. The puck.
Like one of those might stick handling drills Eric and I used to run. We'd like have the kids like handle the puck, and then we blow the whistle and they got to skate somewhere else without the puck. You heard the whistle and you just went.
I just went.
Left the puck.
I could use some drills like that. But all in all, fun games, honestly. Yeah. Even when we lose and even when we get smoked, we still kind of have some fun.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, first guys we played were cool. They none of them were assholes or anything.
The one guy, Johnny lined up with him.
Oh.
And he looked over at our bench, and what did he say?
They were pretty cool, like we were saying. And we were kind of like talking to him. nothing bad. It was all like, oh, good play, yeah. So the one face-off, the guy just looks at me, and he goes, did you guys bring the entire city you come from? And we do have a large team this year.
We have a lot of guys.
We have like 17 guys. Yeah. But we're all pretty smart about it. We move, we get off the ice, we're supposed to. No one's out there for like 5 minutes or something stupid. And I just said, no, we normally just get so banged up, we need extra bodies. And he started laughing. I was like, do you not have any friends? Because they only had they only had like 7 or 8 guys. And he just kind of like chuckled and he's like, no, we're from a really small town. Like, I think he was definitely like, man, this guy's like,
he's got some chops on.
Always.
The best chirps are nothing scripted. It's all off the cuff.
A lot I'll never say.
That's great.
Only if you're on the ice.
Only if you're on the ice.
Johnny, we saw some interesting stuff this morning.
Oh.
Yeah. Why don't you? Yeah.
So Eric and I this morning woke up. Actually, we felt pretty good considering all.
I felt great. I actually slept.
Okay.
I didn't sleep after the Pens game.
So,
I was so... Good Lord.
Feels like you ran a marathon.
Yeah, I felt like I had actually played in that Pens game. Anyway, continue.
Which is funny because once he sat down at his seat at PPG, he didn't move.
Nope.
But beers just kept appearing in his hand.
That's right.
Had beers.
Oh. But anyways.
So this morning we got up, walked around after we got our coffee. We went over to Ziggy's Sports, saw some cool sports memorabilia and stuff, talked there a lot. We'll get into that in a little bit. But we walked in the rink. We're like, hey, we'll go see some stuff there. And Eric and I have some issues with the way people take care of their equipment and the way they operate when they're in a locker room, etc. So as we're walking to the seating section we always sit in, out of the one bathroom, there were these 2 players who were playing in the game in like 2 minutes. Like Zam was about to finish. They were coming out. They're coming out of the bathroom in their skates. It's a tile floor.
Oh, no.
Oh, my
And you can
God.
hear it.
No way. Really?
Yes way.
No.
I swear.
Holy crap.
She was. No. They were getting ready to go on the ice. She was coming out of the women's bathroom, tile floor.
Ooh. In skates.
And she goes, She said something like...
She said something, I can't remember the exact line, but it was something...
She was like, I'm doing this right after I got these sharpened or some crazy
and she was like,
shit like
and
that.
she was like, it won't really matter, ha ha ha. And I'm like, yeah, it will.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely
yeah,
will.
There's a bathroom in the locker room.
Well, that's what we were... Yeah.
We were so confused.
What the hell?
I mean, unless there was someone else in there blowing it up. I mean, I don't know. I was just more shocked because Aaron, Danny, and I used to work. We all worked at the same rink, and we would make the joke during public session, even though they had massive signs everywhere. Please, no skates on the towel. Please, no skates on the towel. No skates on the towel. No skates on. Like 7 signs leading up to the tiled area in every public session.
Then you hear
get somebody.
You hear click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you hear click, click, whoosh,
yeah,
crash.
Yeah. But
for them, it doesn't matter. But when
yeah.
you're playing hockey, it matters.
They're about to go play a game.
Yeah, you gotta have edges.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I just looked out our window. I saw her walking down the street in her full gear in the concrete. I'm just like, that's something else, like on another level. Like it's one thing if like, you know, especially some of the tournament weekends, you get kind of burn out of the routine. I get it. Like instead of using your laundry bag, you just throw it all in or something. Like do that to your blades. Like, oh,
brutal.
I'm dying.
Brutal.
Yeah, you're just cringing. I'm cringing thinking about it.
Imagine seeing it.
Imagine hearing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure.
And we weren't the only ones that kind of like looked over and were like,
yeah, what is going on?
Like, you can't do that.
Actually, I did say like 10 seconds after we kind of passed that scene and we're walking, I'm like, I'm talking about that later. I'm like,
that's coming up.
And we just got back from a nice lunch at the Coney Island. Requisite trip. Got the rookies through. Everybody's checked the box.
All rookies passed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They can all come back next year. It's good as always. Not as much chili sauce this year.
I got a fair bit. I had some drips.
They were a little stingy on the Sundowner.
My Sundowner was actually pretty good in terms of quantities. I got too much chili on my dog. That's for sure. Yeah. Had some drips.
They were heavy pouring onions this
year. They were heavy with the onions.
Heavy pours.
I mean, they were probably about to turn. So like, hey guys, you gotta throw a few extra splashes on here.
I was talking to Aaron going into it, and I was like, I think the first year we must have been really on one because I don't really remember it. And you like, I look at like what they're ordering. I can't finish that now. Like I can't eat all that food.
It actually is. I can't do it.
It's a lot of food.
I didn't have any problems today.
You're in your element. You're in your element.
And the worst is I'm sitting here scoffing because after the Pens game, Danny ordered a round of pizzas.
5 dudes, 5 pizzas
at the hotel. So Eric and I go back up to our room. I'm sitting in a chair. Him and I are just talking. I mean, at that point we didn't know what was going on. I bet if you like have audio, it's just like blah, 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 blah.
We're grunting.
And I just finished and I look up and I'm like, I finished my entire pizza. And he just looked at me, like didn't say anything. He's like, oh. And the next morning I'm like, hey, did you guys finish your pizzas? No.
Absolutely not.
I'm like, oh yeah, whoever did that is insane.
Can't imagine.
Oh God,
imagine who would be able to
all that food. It's like, oh
man.
That Pens game was fun though. It really was a lot of fun.
It was a good time, yeah.
Especially with our group, we had like 10 guys, and all the people around us were just laughing their asses off because somebody had something to say all the time, and it was always hilarious. It was always so much fun.
Yeah,
we're so funny.
Well, Aaron's top 100 in what was that, Aaron? What'd you tell that
guy? I was wearing my Arkansas shirt, and the guy that was like right across and one row ahead of me, he was saying "Roll Tide," and I was like, "No, Woo Pig Suey," just talking college sports or whatever. And then he looks over and sees Arkansas. He's like, "How does a guy from Arkansas even like hockey?" And I said, "Dude, I'm in the top 100 of Arkansas-born hockey players." Everybody was laughing.
I mean, it's probably true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just-
How many rinks are in Arkansas?
There is one rink
One
in
rink.
Little Rock, and it's not even NHL size. You want an NHL size rink, you got to go to Memphis, which is 4 hours away from the capital.
I think John said you sold yourself short. You're probably actually top 50.
No, I'm in a slump.
You got an assist this weekend.
You can't pull yourself out of the top 50.
Ah, come on.
That's great.
You should just start telling random people in hockey circles, like those people on Hockey DB, hey, can you pull up a list of top 100 hockey players from Arkansas? They're like, we only have 2 guys.
There's only two guys. There's only 2 guys in elite prospects, and only one's played anything at all. Like, yep.
You need a shirt that says #1 Arkansas prospect.
I should. The 38-year-old prospect looking for a PTO. top 100 hockey players from Arkansas.
They're gonna get like a coast team like in a month and like somehow find this and go like, oh yeah, we got to get that guy.
Yeah, we got to talk to that Aaron Michaels guy.
You get your block knocked off.
I would get annihilated. I've never played Czech hockey in my life. I would get destroyed.
You go to that one rink and be like, I'm from here, start signing autographs. Who was that guy? He said he was top 100.
Oh,
Yeah, there's another like top 50s are already on the ice.
All 5 people have public skate. You're throwing out signed pucks.
And the 4 people walking on tile on the other side of the ring.
No, actually, I got to give some props to the Arkansas Stadium. I used to work there, actually.
That's the name?
The
Stadium?
Arkansas Stadium. And it's not the Little Rock Stadium. It's for the whole state. So it's the Arkansas Stadium.
That sounds like a roller rink.
Well, it has a roller rink, too. It's got a roller rink. The roller rink's bigger than the ice rink.
Now, is it like roller or like roller blade?
No, it wasn't actually a roller rink.
Okay.
It actually was a roller rink, not a roller hockey rink. Like
Okay,
it's
okay.
got wooden floors with roll-on on.
Yeah.
Oh, like disco lights and
Yeah,
stuff?
absolutely.
yeah.
Really
Oh, yeah.
nice lighting and
Yeah.
DJ.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, 4-wheelers.
Yep,
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
people go skating quads.
Disco
Yeah.
stew out there.
Good times. Going back to the Pens game, we couldn't stop making fun of 61 on the Flyers.
Yeah.
I don't even remember his name. we couldn't stop on him though.
Braun. Is that Braun?
Braun. Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He
It doesn't
sucks.
matter.
Well, especially at the first bar we went to before the game, anyone that walked in a Flyers jersey, oh, nice Bobby Clark jersey, loser. Then like someone had, who was it? There were a few people that had a jersey. It's a current player. I forget who it was. It wasn't Giroux because we don't like him.
There were
Forget
some
Couturier.
Hex,
There was
some
Couturier.
Hextall jerseys too.
Oh, it was Couturier.
Couturier,
We're like, he's
yeah.
okay. But then like someone had a Konechny jersey. We're like, he sucks. Anytime it was a Couturier, we're like, he's okay.
Yeah, connecting though, he did have a sick goal. Like I
Yeah,
don't
he
like the
did,
Flyers,
yeah.
but his goal was sick.
Yeah, he had a good goal.
It was a really nice goal.
At the time, we didn't like it.
We were
Actually-
booing him, and then we all
I
turned.
think
and
it was
that actually
Danny.
really
Like
good.
the next morning, he goes, "Remember he scored?" And we're all like, "Bah, boo, boo!" And then he's like, "I watched the highlight like today. It actually looked really good.
It's
Like,
actually-
it was a really good goal." Like,
The fuck Philly.
I was a little upset to see like we've been hearing it throughout the NHL, and it's a pro sports thing. Like they're not selling a lot of tickets. Like it definitely showed. Like there was a decent chunk of people in the lower bowl where we were at, but not a lot.
I'd give it 70% capacity, something like
If-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good crowd. It just
It was
wasn't
decent, yeah.
full.
It wasn't
Yeah, I
full,
think,
though.
and
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's a good sports town, so like the fans will go, but I do think part of it's probably COVID. I mean, we've said it a few times, like referencing the American Hockey League or East Coast, or in Johnstown they have an NA team here, so
Mhm.
it's a lot more affordable to go to some of those games versus an NHL game.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, what 2 Icy Light stadium cans are like $29.
Yep.
And it's
A
like,
lot.
I mean, even our seats, like we got a group rate, and it was still a lot of money.
oh yeah,
yeah.
It wasn't
It was,
cheap.
I mean, it was good seats, but
Yeah.
it was still a lot of money.
Yeah. No, man, we live like an hour and a half from Hershey. I wish it was like an hour.
Right.
Because I would get a ticket plane.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's right in the wheelhouse. An hour,
Yeah.
like
Hour's decent
Yeah,
drive.
hour and a half, especially coming home. Like, okay, it's a bit
That's
much.
a little bit of a hike.
We know.
It's a bit much.
That's a little bit of a
hike.
yeah.
And actually, like the drive up to Hershey isn't bad. It's a distance thing because we're fortunate. It's right on the highway. You go,
Yeah.
shoot right up. But
coming back at night from there, coming down 15 when it's dark out. Oh, that's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
so I remember growing up, my dad would take my brothers and I forget if they were East Coast or maybe United League. It was the Chesapeake Icebreakers, which I think were EC.
Yeah.
So we would go see some of those games. Then we go to see Team Maryland or like University of Maryland. Sorry, we go see some of their games.
Yeah.
And those were always great. And then also they had the pro roller hockey team, the Washington Power. The one year they merged with like the one big international roller hockey league. So they played Anaheim Bullfrogs, which at the time, well, Danny, you're bigger into roller. You know that team. They would murder the Washington Power. I mean, it was like 27-1, and it was roller hockey. So like, they're normally insane, but like those games was like a noticeable difference. And the year before in that league that the Power were in, they were league champion, murdered everybody, and then they play in the international roller league and just getting waxed every night. Every night.
We had talked about it before, though. I mean, there's so many levels of hockey.
Oh, it's obscene.
There's just so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish like in Frederick, where we play out of, I wish there was a building like here in Johnstown, like the War Memorial, where it's like I don't know, that's got to be like a 3,000
3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
building, something like that. NA team, Friday, Saturday night. It's a weekend league, right? It's a weekend league.
Beautiful.
You know, you can go Friday, you can go Saturday, whatever works for your schedule, and have a good time.
That'd be awesome.
Watch some good hockey. Like,
and
get home in 10 minutes.
I think we were talking about we want to come up here. We need to bring a group.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Just fucking sell out a section. Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
The other thing that's pretty cool at the War, and I don't know how they do it. Like, I do know, like in Hershey, the Giant Center, like a lot of kids don't skate there unless you schedule something.
Oh yeah,
so it's a big tournament.
Yeah.
The older arena, the old Hershey Stadium, they still play a little bit there. There is a junior. Actually, Boudreaux has a junior team there.
Yeah.
But like the War, if you're a youth player growing up, or even a beer leaguer, like they schedule games there.
They play here every night.
I think there's
stuff here every night, man.
I know. I think that is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're a little hockey player growing up, the fact you can see an NA team and then skate on it during the weekends when they're out of town or practice, I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just so cool.
Yeah.
I just think about the kids going off that big.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I would love.
I hate it.
Yes,
I hate it.
I would love to see that.
Like,
well, here's the really funny part about that. So that door is where it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's board height off the ice. To the left, there's another door where you could walk directly onto the visitor's bench. You don't have to step. You don't have to step from the top of the boards onto the ice.
Right.
You could just walk through the door to the left and get on the visitor's bench and then hop on the ice.
No.
But everybody goes out
Straight
the door.
It's fun.
Where if you step the wrong way on your blade,
you're breaking your ankle.
you're at least eating shit.
You're crumpling.
Yeah.
You're just gonna fold up.
Even if you haven't had a few wobbly pops.
Exactly. Yeah. You could hit one edge wrong or whatever. When you come down on that ice, you're going down. Like, but you don't have to. Just take 2 steps to the left, 1 step down, and you're on the visitor's bench, and now you're at ice level.
Yeah.
I'll remember that up till 30 seconds after.
Now that we've already played our game there, it really matters. Yeah.
Well, the best was the one year when one of our teammates made that jump.
Well,
what do you have, like 6 beers spill out from his arms?
Yeah.
he had a 6-pack of Coors Light stuffed in his hockey pants, or breezers if you're in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And before that, him and another teammate were at the Penn State game earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of decisions were made.
Yes.
Well, another teammate and I last night on our bench before the game when all that nonsense started. He was lining up airplane mini bottles.
He was.
And he brought, and my favorite was like, he brought 2 beers out. I'm like, can I have one of those? He's like, and I just took it.
And then he went and got the cooler.
And then he
Like,
got
all right,
his
this is
cooler, and
happening.
he
He
did.
had the cooler on the bench.
And then the girl doing photography for the tournament this weekend, she's like, really, guys? I was like, oh, you thirsty? You want a drink? Like, what do you want to do?
the ref
Although-
turned it down too, though.
The,
Yeah,
the
right.
ticket lady, the beer ticket lady, took one of the minis and downed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I'll take one.
Yeah.
Good times. It was a fun game. At 11 o'clock.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Aaron, what's been your highlight this weekend so far? Hockey or non-hockey related?
I don't even know. I mean, so much happens. I need a week to process.
To like get
There's
back
so
to neutral?
much that happens in this week. Everything is just so jammed in that so much happens. I don't think I can pick a favorite thing, or it's also hard to recall it all right now.
Yes.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, and we go back, and usually that Sunday in OFAT Ball Guys League or the next week or whatever, we're all telling those stories as we remember them. And I think that's a reaction to like just trying to make sure that you remember all of it.
Yeah.
Because when you're here, the way I look at it, at least, is like you're just in the moment. Like I think that's what's so cool about it is you're just kind of in the present moment the whole time because there's so much shit going on all the time. There's always something going on.
And the personalities in this group means that amazing things are happening, being said, being done
All the time.
all the time.
All the time.
And you can't be present for all of it.
No.
You can hear a lot of it secondhand, but
Right.
it's still just as
Right.
funny. It's just too much.
I think that is kind of one of the cool things. Like, we were even kind of talking when we were at Coney. Like, there were essentially 2 groups running around last night.
Yeah.
And hearing
Yeah.
what we did, and then the next group,
Yeah.
hearing some of the debauchery that happened there. And then even they kind of like splintered off at certain points. So you got to puzzle piece everything back
Yep.
together. And then everyone's commenting on the stories in a
Mhm.
funny way. And it's just, it adds to it.
Yeah.
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 You
Yeah,
hear
so-
a third-hand account of something that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
A bystanders report.
You're just watching the news and seeing.
One of our teammates continued the tradition of hurdling stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 a.m.
Yep, that started last year.
It's
It
new,
continues
yeah.
this year. Yeah.
One of the guys who's normally here, he's on a trip in a foreign land. I-
No, it's true.
it's true. I sent a picture of the Coney thing because he did something on social media, like of a really nice looking lamb
5-star
chop. Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
He only goes to like
Meal.
Michelin star restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
So I sent a picture of the Coney. I was like, "You're missing out. Sorry about it." he just texted me back. He's like, "Oh, that's the rookie tradition. You got to do it." So even he knows.
Yeah.
He's
He
one of the
knows.
guys. Like he comes, bust balls. We bust his.
He went
balls
through
a
it.
ton. Yeah,
He did
went
it.
through
He
Went through it. Yeah, we all were in the trench
get it
together.
down.
Yeah,
Get it
Good
we're
to
all in the
go.
trench. It's all good.
Yeah, I told one of the rookies that came with us, like we planned things out. Like we were supposed to go to Coney at 12:30.
Nope.
Nah.
Never. We got
Never-
there like after 1. Like
No, man. We
things just happen.
were
You just-
watching the
yeah.
games over at the War
Yeah,
this
we're having a
morning
good
and
time.
started drinking
Yeah.
beers. Like,
Yep.
you know?
There's never really a schedule. You just
No.
go with the flow.
Yeah.
And it's cool some of like the little people interactions that happen. Like
Yeah.
me and another teammate last night, right after our game, we got our beer tickets. We went to the area, but unfortunately, we're adults and we realized,
Party pit, right?
Yeah, the party
Mhm.
pit. We realized, we can't step up there because it's like that hard kind of plastic
Yeah.
thing. So our skates would get ruined.
Oh, so you didn't
Right.
step
You
on
didn't
tile?
step on
or-
tiles.
Oh,
But
okay.
we always play this team from Delmont. And there's a few guys we know that are always out and about. The guy's like, "Hey man, how you guys doing? We're in a different division." We're like, "Hey, can you help us out really quick and just do beer tickets?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he, took the tickets, walked the 10 feet, got the beers, came back down, and then we were talking to him for another 5 minutes, just
Yeah.
like hanging out and talking.
Well,
to
it's
him.
hockey people, right? Like,
Exactly.
hockey people doesn't. I mean, even that team last night where it was a little chippy and like there was some words said on the ice. a lot of those guys were talking to us in the concourse at the war afterwards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you know, it was fine. Like that's just the way hockey people are, right? Like
Things happen on the ice.
stuff goes
Yeah,
on or
and-
whatever, but we're all like in this like small hockey community, and we all know how to like talk to each other. We're all very social, so you know, like it's part of the deal. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the cool parts about coming up here too, is it's really like it's like a hockey festival that takes over the whole town. You know, at least that's the way we.
That's a good way to
That's the
put it,
way
yeah.
we treat it.
It's like
Yeah.
a festival. Yeah.
It's Coachella for Beer League hockey.
Well, this is, they filmed Slapshot. It's one of the meccas of hockey.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Film
Yeah.
Slapshot here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to the museum this morning after we went to Ziggy Sports.
Hey, what's the story on the dog?
Fuck him.
What's the story of that dog?
Jesus, Lily, there's been 3 rapes and 2 murders here in the last year. Yeah, well, I didn't do it.
Yeah. Actually, I will say one of the coolest. We were at Ziggy's looking at some of the memorabilia. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. I never knew it was done. Apparently, the New York Rangers. If you were granted, I don't know if they still do it. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Apparently, at the time they did it. You were a season ticket holder for the New York Hockey Rangers, 50 years. Which, mind you, that's not a cheap ticket, probably to begin with.
Yeah. MSG.
MSG.
Yeah.
You got a solid bronze hockey stick.
Hmm.
I could have bench pressed this thing. It was so freaking heavy.
It was solid bronze.
Solid
bronze.
bronze.
Who got that?
It didn't say the name on it. It just said
Yeah.
it commemorates your 50th season
Yeah.
with the Rangers as a ticket holder. And then it goes through kind of like Madison Square Garden, and a few other things.
But why is it here?
Well,
So
Probably
memorabilia.
donated it.
he's got all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
in
he just
there.
buys stuff
Yeah. Well,
or
Or gets
donated.
donated.
he's
or-
trying to sell a lot right now. He was like, "Oh, I got to get rid of this. Got to get rid of that." Like they used to have Jim Craig's pads, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we went over there and we went back in that room. They're gone.
Did John cry?
I actually was upset.
We were a little disappointed.
Actually, I did when we turned the other corner and the guy was there. I was like, "You sold Jimmy's pads?" He's like, "Oh yeah," but
How much did they go for?
I didn't
well,
ask him.
yeah.
But he did say when he sold it, they donated the money to the Humboldt Broncos.
which is awesome.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
That's cool.
tight.
That's really
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now what do we talk about now?
Let's talk about we got a game tonight, right? We got a game.
do
Another
we?
one at 11.
Well, okay. Before we get to
Is
the
it 11?
Yeah,
It's 11:10.
11:10.
At Evansburg.
before we get to the game, though, before we get to the game, we got to go visit Windber, Pennsylvania, and we have to go
Our
visit
sponsor.
our sponsors, the Polish Falcons,
Falcons.
Nest 97 in Windber, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Daniel
Remembers.
has to just annihilate the shuffleboard.
Oh, I'm running train on shuffleboard. Yeah.
Coming for that crown.
Yeah. You better watch it. Me and John.
Well, you know what you got to do with a cigarette in your mouth and a beer in your hand. It's hard.
You realize I designed my house. I designed my next house to be big enough to own one of those tables.
Oh, look at you, one
Full length one?
percenter.
Yeah.
You gonna go full length?
Huh?
You gonna go full length? You gonna have full length shuffleboard?
And he's gonna
Probably
have a
not. What's it? 27 foot.
I don't actually know how long they are, but I know I
They're-
played one
they're
where there
long
was
as
like it was
shit.
short.
Yeah.
It was like maybe as long as the room.
Danny's gonna have like a shuffleboard training.
I'm
center.
getting over a 16 footer.
Oh, you could get the big
The
one.
largest shuffleboard training center on the East Coast is going to be located in West Virginia.
Yeah, it'll be the only one in West Virginia.
The Olympic Training Center for shuffleboard.
I'm gonna have montages in my basement.
Well, that wraps up episode 65. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, some of the stories from Johnstown were entertaining. Don't forget to check out our social media accounts at Beers in the Lot. I'm sure John's going to have some pretty sweet memes from this weekend. And as always, you can check out beersinthelot.com to figure out ways to contact us on Discord. We have a contact us page up there. You could support us on Patreon. Basically, any method that you'd want to get in touch with us is on beersinthelot.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next week.